is recording. Cool. So I'm gonna start in. No, actually, I'm gonna start by showing you this. This is the faction map I said I'd do, and I did do it. So we have the African communists, which you can't see. You can see that, but you got the African communists, NATO, or NATO, or NATO, and you got the Warsaw Pact, and then you got the ACL, and then that brings me on to the borders of Mexico, which I said I'd do. There wasn't really a suitable river to run across the whole thing, so I followed the river line vaguely, and I just kind of cut it off with some mountains. So North and South Mexico now, so that's interesting. North joined NATO, South joined ACL. Anyways, starting in, let's start in China. So this war's been going on for 3 years at this point. Started 58, didn't it? Or maybe it was 59. It's been going on for a few years, and they've been absolutely just how do you call it, embarrassed. And in the end, after one final push, which they did manage to capture a few thousand, they just fled and then came back through some loyalists in Burma and or Myanmar and Thailand helping them. Lots of American presence down here. Anyways, they do one last push and then expend all their resources. They're pulled out and gave reparations. So that's unfortunate for them. So there's peace there for now. Probably safest. Yeah, this works. Don't know if it will affect the Indian bit doing this, but it's fine. So yeah, that's a big loss for China, but they're finally at peace. But the other thing going on in Asia, the Indian Civil War, Britain is pulled entirely out of, but America did fund them a little bit. Not too much, I can't get much support in there. In the end, these guys who were caught off guard managed to push back here. And this is a big hit for communists who didn't expect this. Such a comeback, so they thought they were weak in that, and they managed to capture a couple tens of thousands of men. So they got them on the back leg now, and they do little funny manoeuvres over here. But they can't really keep this up for too long. And then, as you see, they're not very that big of a country. And Pakistan up here, who has a claim to this Kashmir region. I don't know if this is all Kashmir, but they have a claim to this bit, and they're looking more and more likely to come and get it, which they do end up doing. And they don't join in the communist side per se. But let's be real, communist might be communist in a bit. Communist, they're not gonna be too safe. I don't know what else got to do, and I'm just gonna tell you that they might be communist. Anyways, so they got blindsided entirely. They run and they prioritise that claim. They walk through that claimed area. Do some shenanigans here. That's about as far as they get, and they start piling in support over here. But at this point, the Chinese see a bit of a how do you call it, opportunity to get. Is it Arunachal Pradesh here that they have claim to? Anyway, yeah, trying to get involved. Now India's at war pretty much the entirety of Asia, in terms of population. I suppose probably like what you did put that way, more obviously like 10% of the world. I obviously didn't expect this either, so China start coming in. So that's really not good for the Indian Republic, what you call it. This is cut off, then China finishes this off down here, but they pretty much held here. Oh, and so they hold it here, yeah. And then they aid the Pakistanis over here, who managed to finish this off and get their claim. At this point, they're forced to pull back for obvious reasons, and the communists pretty much get back to where they were before. The government flees to Bangladesh, the closest like loyalist government, and then it all just falls apart. And a peace conference of sorts is drawn up. Yep. Just got to go back a little bit. Yep. Cool. So basically, obviously they won the civil war, so they got all their land from the old India, the old British India. Shame they didn't last. So that's the jewel in the crown, officially communist. They also went Sri Lanka and the Maldives, which might be underwater. I have no idea where they are. Should be here. Where are they? Oh no. And took Andaman. They could have fled to Andaman. I'm sick of people fleeing to places. So they just took over. And Pakistan up here got their claim. I'm gonna start drawing it in 3 so it works better. Let's say their claim looks like that. Actually, let's go. I can't wait to look at the actual claims, so don't come after me, mate. It's not that deep. Let's be real. So I've seen some people getting very mad about that. So they go, Pakistan got what they need. They didn't ask for anything, but it's just their claim. And China's claim is only officially like this, something similar. And China would have only taken that, but no one's really stopping him. Let's be honest, at China. So they took a bit more than promised, or their claim. Once again, this wasn't really set out to do anything else. It all kind of got involved. So that makes the borders here a bit less complicated, I suppose. So Bhutan's an island now in China, or yeah, an island in the Chinese Sea. They're surrounded, poor little fellas. But this gave the Chinese government more support, and Mao is still alive at this point, of course. So he's got good old Mao's got a bit more support now. Does that mean he's got a border to the? No, he doesn't have a border to the Indian Ocean. Bangladesh just done him in. But yeah, China got a lot more land now. So that's good for Mao Zedong himself up here. And poor little India, or the communist remains of it. That's what they're left with. But Mao does offer a proposal to this new Indian government to start up a faction of sorts. They're not too happy how they're missing half their claim. So they say, oh, I should have just thought that through beforehand. They say, hey, if you can keep Arunachal Pradesh. If I'm pronouncing that correct, I don't care too much though, because it's not too big of a deal. But all my Indian fellas, I'm very sorry. Anyways, they got this back in return for Arunachal Pradesh. I mean, in return for joining a faction, but they still kept the Arunachal Pradesh province region, please. Oh my goodness. Why is it lagging? Well, and then they made make a faction. I will call it the Fourth International. I don't really want to, but that's his name for now. What on earth? Oh, just a bit of lag. What colour do we put it to? Let's go pink. Now we've got differentiate. It's all a shade of like. Here we go. And it's not almost the Taiwan then. Oh, I can't update this, haven't I? I'll just do it at the end, but use your imagination. I say invite North Korea as well. So that's what that looks like. I'll fix it later. So yeah, big factions are becoming a thing, and Pakistan they're coming under the communist threat. So that's unfortunate for them. But anyways, that's India partitioned. Let's do one more thing I didn't really have a plan before. It's kind of made up. So in the Middle East here, very peaceful, strangely peaceful, apart from the Israel thing, and that Syrian thing. So Turkey getting a bit bored of just sitting around doing nothing. So they kind of make some maneuvers, and they go over to Russia and say, hey, we got all these people in our faction have claims to my land, and let's be honest, I'm more of a valuable ally than, let's say, Greece, Bulgaria, Iran. Yeah, so can you help me get some of their stuff? And Russia not wanting to jeopardize the security of their things down here, make it any Western, like these guys could go against these guys could, you know. So they said no, but if you want to start some funny shenanigans over here, we won't say anything. So what Turkey do is they first almost spark World War III by demanding Cyprus of Britain. They of course say no, and America backs them, and then Russia tells them something stupid, and then they back down. So that's embarrassing for them. But then I almost did. That's American owned. They go down to Jordan down here, and then they start. Well, they say something funny happened at the border, and then before you know it, you got modern aircraft just absolutely pummeling their country to smithereens, and the Americans start sending support flooding in, because they don't want to lose. Open this up, and the communists down here, because if they lose Saudi Arabia, that's not very good. That's a lot what they want is region, don't they? So if the communists don't, if the communists get it first, then that's unfortunate for them. But their support's not enough. Logi bombs, logistic bombs, if you're not, it's fine. Anyways, yeah, bang, got the train, send the supplies in, and then that was the end of Jordan. But they don't annex it directly, because this was lots of Russian help down here. So instead of annexing it, which they couldn't manage anyways, let's be honest, they just set up a little vassal state of it, which I will sort out later. Alright, cool. Which I'll do later on a different layer here. But yes. Actually, I'll be quick to do it now, won't it? Doesn't make a difference. Do that, and then show you how to step up it. Cool. And then go back to the main one. I forgot to name these. I don't know if I'm in Dharma, it's really obvious or what. Is it here? Yeah. This is main. I'll sort it out every time, don't know. So I don't get confused. Alright. And if I control Z, it still does it. Oh my goodness. It's fine. I've got a headache, man. I just want to sit down. Anyways, final thing. Over here. So, we have more Turkish shenanigans, where they start little border conflicts over here in Armenia and in Georgia. Georgia, they want this. Armenia, they want all of it, and it will open up the route to them getting all of Azerbaijan, because they share a religion. I didn't want to do that. But yeah, so they start some border conflicts over here. But the Georgians, who are heavily supported by the Americans, they get some supplies airdropped in from an air base in American Iraq, as well as Armenia gets some support, and they kind of share in this, and then they want to get revenge. And they say to America, if you send us equipment, we'll stage a Chechnya uprising in Dagestan and Chechnya itself to slow the Russians down a bit. Where's Chechnya? Is that on Chechnya? That's Abkhazia, that's Chechnya, that's Dagestan. Anyways, they said they're going to do the uprisings, right? And then America agreed to this plan, unbeknownst to the Soviets. And then all of a sudden, they're involved in this massive border war. Oop. That's great. Stupid islands up here, who made these? There's some mammoths up here at one point, like the last mammoths ever to exist were on one of these islands, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, yeah, cool, not too long. Azerbaijan is safe for now, and then that's also Armenia. Cool. Think. So yeah, they're not officially at war, and they're not officially at war, it's all border tensions. Same as we have the Chechnyans, which I'll paint this kind of colour. Here. The Dagestan, here. That's too big, let's be real. And then Abkhazia. So that's the Russian uprising they've got to deal with now. And in terms of Turkey, they're a bit incompetent. Surprise. Not too incompetent, but like enough to not be able to do this too well. I mean, they get a bit more success, but we'll see how that turns out. Very cool. I can't even fix the map, it's stupid colours. Okay. Hold on. So there, that's fine. I can duplicate that. I don't want to recolour it though. That's fine, that's for me to figure out. Bye.